Hello everyone. Hello, good evening, afternoon, or whenever you're watching this. It doesn't make any sense what time I say because you could be watching this at any time. But it's the afternoon now in a very wet Birmingham, and this is Fan Formula. This week the subject matter is the old and a very fitting title, Neutral New Delhi, where I've got a feeling it's going to be quite a quick Fan Formula this week because there's not really that much to go on about really. It's not the best race of the season, is it? But I'll go into it in the questions, so let's go straight into it, yeah. Question 1. With the amount of incidents across the season with rear punctures caused by front wings of the car behind close battles for position, do you think the design of the front wing needs to be re-evaluated? Well, we've had this problem for a number of seasons. It's something that happens. I think it's more about the load that's in the tyres when they're hitting the front wings of these cars. Of course, they're very sharp, the Endies. There are regulations in place to keep them stop damaging the tyres, but it still occurs, and I don't think there's much you can really do about it. Technically, I think that the drivers could be a lot better. I mean, with the one case in the today, when I think it was Maldonado just cut across the front of Senna, was it? Or some, I can't remember who it was, but yeah, people have been a little bit silly. Not giving them enough room to manoeuvre, and it's a occupational hazard, I suppose. It's going to happen quite a lot. I don't think there's too much you can do to the front wings to make them safe, apart from perhaps make them narrower. So, like what they did a few years ago, the rear wings, where they cut the size down dramatically. If you do it to the front wing, you'll probably make for actually a bit more exciting racing, but it'll dramatically decrease the front downforce. So, other than that, I can't really see what else you can do. Let's crack on with question 2. Which moment impressed you across the F1 weekend in India? Not a lot really. The race itself was a bit drab. The qualifying was pretty predictable, and the whole race was really going onto script, apart from probably Webber's problems. We all pretty much expected where everyone was going to finish, and of course, the good thing with India is there's always exciting off track. There's more things going on there. It's one of the races where if you actually go to in the circuit to watch it, you probably have a lot more fun travelling around India than you would do actually at the Grand Prix. I didn't see too much of the off-screen or the off-track action this weekend. Didn't catch most of it, but what was impressive? Probably the pit stop challenge that they did on Sky Sports. That was a pretty impressive time that they pulled off on that one. But apart from that, and of course, Vettel dominance, I suppose, of the race. I mean, he led. It's over 200 laps he's read now in the season, and he's winning away with the title. And I really think I can't really see how Alonso coming back into it now. But I have to say, not much impressed me this weekend. Question 3: what is your overall opinion of the race? Were you disappointed with the race in comparison to the Indian Grand Prix last year? If you're disappointed, what disappointed the most? I think maybe we got a bit spoiled with the first half of the season. It was extremely a lot of different winners, a lot of different titles, a lot of good battle, and I think the last maybe 6-7 races it's been a lot more to form. The main contenders have pulled away. You've had McLaren dominating a bit. Red Bull have been the same as after Ferrari had a good mid-season section. So it's really been a bit more tighter now, and it's going more to form, and I suppose it's back to what it was a few years ago. The thing with this Grand Prix was, I suppose the tyres didn't really play a bigger part as it has done throughout the season. I mean, they chose compounds which could pretty much last the whole race, and the strategy was not so important as in you've seen in other races where teams were practically out of tyres at the end of the race, so that was never to come into it. And I think it's been more of the Grand Prix perhaps we saw for it 4 or 5 years ago before the introduction of KERS and DRS, where it's pretty much a procession, apart from a few occasional drivers that will try to get through the grid and make a few things happen. But again, it's not been the most. The last few Grand Prix have been pretty, I wouldn't say poor, but not as much action packed as some of the early races of the season. I think we've been a bit spoiled there. It's been a bit more subdued so far. I mean, if I was to say what disappointed you the most, it's just lack of on-track action, and I don't think that's really the team's fault or the circuit's fault. I actually think it's quite a nice circuit, a good circuit, as you saw with. There's a few good overtakes, and there's quite a lot of close driving in there. Just maybe not as action-packed as before, but yeah, I don't think there's not much to. I think we just you're going to get a few races like this this season. I think we've had a bad patch. Maybe the circuit design has something to do with it, or maybe it's the fact that the teams are getting to the stage now where a lot of the upgrades have come and the teams have pretty much sorted their order out, and of course Red Bulls are running away with it, and maybe a different qualifying result would have made the result or the race a bit more interesting, but you don't really know how those have affected the race. The bonus question: we hear the return of the Crazy Frog celebration from Seb and Rocky this weekend. If you had won your first race in Formula 1, what would your be celebrity radio message? For a start, I think that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? And that's coming from me, a Crazy Frog in back. But I wouldn't really have a celebrational. I don't think I have a message. I'll probably just do the old woo, yeah, #1, yeah, well done, yeah, well done team. And that'll probably be it, celebrate. But I don't know. I've never raced to it. I suppose I'll just scream a lot and go, yeah. That's what I do. If coming out the car, I suppose, I like Seb's got his #1. Schumi had his little leap. If I had to, I've got my little thing which I do when I'm driving. If say I'm in traffic and I've picked the right lane and it just goes through, I go winning. That's my celebrating thing. Yep. So that'll be my celebratory thing. I suppose I could stick that out the cockpit like, yeah, champion winning, and that's it. Very fast fan formula this week, and there's no point to drag it on because the race doesn't really deserve that much of my attention. But Abu Dhabi next race, again, it's another similar type of circuit, but I should have a bit more exciting, more racing. I think this Alonso has to win that next race because having a look around the America circuit, it's going to really suit the cornering of Red Bull. And I think they could win away with it, and of course Brazil could be anyone's race. It's a very unpredictable race over there, so we look forward to next week. They're coming thick and fast, and it's a month to the end of the season now. It's really come down fast this year, so yeah, it's going to be pretty. I think we probably could have the championship sorted out by next race. If Vettel wins next race and Webber doesn't at least get third or podium, I think the titles will pretty much stay in the bag. But we'll wait and see, and hopefully things will improve next race with regards to on-track action. That has been my fan formula, and I bid you farewell. Goodbye.